Hey everybody, ChristopherOdd here, and this is a game called Hard West. And the best way I could describe Hard West, after my very limited time in previewing it, has been, it's kind of like a mix of XCOM with some Oregon Trail. And then I've heard, but I can't confirm, that there's maybe some supernatural elements in here as well. There's some very interesting mechanics in this game that I really enjoy, and yeah, I think that this is worth our time, to be honest. So I'm gonna jump into Hard West. We're gonna do campaign, and the way that it works is you finish a campaign, and then I'm not sure how it decides where you go, but it's done in done in scenarios. So we're at hard times right now, and it looks like we might have different kind of protagonists for each one. So your journey on the Oregon Trail is halted by the harsh realities of the West. You find temporary solace in the gold trade, but bad times are just around the corner, so you'll be forced to make choices that will shape your destiny forever. So I'm gonna start this scenario. We're gonna go on the regular medium difficulty for now, and we're gonna leave off combat injuries or Iron Man, which do what you can probably imagine if you're familiar with XCOM and second wave options. For now, though, we're gonna stay at medium because I'm not sure how the game scales. And so I may want to jump in to do something more difficult at some point in the future, but for now, we're gonna stick on medium and see how it goes.
The Old West was a hard place. Few survived the frigid winters and scorching summers. Other than locusts and drought, the only thing in abundance was poverty and firearms. Many were murdered over trivial matters. Combine alcohol and hopelessness with greed, envy, lust, and pride, and death is often the result. Many a homestead stood abandoned by their long-departed owners. Crude cabins stood alone in the wilderness, cut off from the outside world. People knew to mind their own business, but isolated, they grew ignorant and superstitious. Some said the devil walked the earth, said lost souls haunted and possessed the living, pushing them past the edge of sanity. In this harsh and dangerous country, no one had it easy, including your family. You were 6 years old when you traveled the Oregon Trail with your mother and father. Food was scarce, and your father, despite being a fine tracker and a crack shot, failed to find any game. It was as if every animal on the trail was spooked by some evil force. Your old man found a small village and tried to trade equipment for food, but this village was overrun by outlaws. They took your mother and decided to trade you and your father to white slavers. But he managed to break free, told you to hide, and set out to save her.
And here we go. They took mother away. Could father still save her? So we are going to go through the tutorial. It is short, but it is useful and explains a couple of really interesting mechanics. Hard West is turn-based. You start. So very similar to XCOM. We have different amounts of space that we can move. In this mission, your father must rescue your mother, who's been kidnapped by evil men. You can only move within the range selected. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to move up. Now we've got the jump on this guy here. Cover is indicated by shield icons. Always stay in cover. There's half cover and full cover. Full cover provides the best protection, a la XCOM again. You've detected an enemy. All characters marked with red shield icons are enemies. And you can tell we're in half cover. It's our shield is split. He is right in the open. So we're gonna choose to attack him. Our chance to hit is 70, could do up to 4 damage. There it is. So most actions require action points. Each character starts combat with 2 action points. Typically, shooting typically uses up all remaining action points. When all of your characters are out of APs, enemy turns start. So even if you shoot on the first move, your action points are gone. So it's almost always beneficial to move, get into the best position, and then shoot. Hello. Now you notice, okay, it's going to tell us about luck. So each character has a certain amount of luck. High luck protects from enemy shots, but when they miss, luck is depleted. When enemies are in cover, bypass their protection by flanking them. So you can see our luck down here, it's 60 out of 100. As that gets lower, you have a much higher chance of getting hit. And so I kind of like that aspect because it's still RNG in the sense that you're not guaranteeing a hit or you're not guaranteeing a miss, but there's like a factor in there that makes it so that you're not always getting hit, you're not always dodging these easy shots. So it's pretty interesting. When enemies are in cover, bypass their protection by flanking them. So we're gonna go up here and we're gonna flank this guy. Let's take a shot. Man down. Remember to reload often. Many weapons reload only a couple rounds at a time. So we could reload from here or just R, as is the standard. Okay. Now this is really interesting. In broad daylight, you can locate enemies by their shadows. You can even shoot them if you have an unobstructed line of fire. Some materials like cloth or foliage can be shot through. So if you're really observant, you can see that he's got the shadows showing here. So we're gonna go ahead and attack through the tent. Hello. Okay, so our luck is running out. You ran out of luck and are bound to be shot, so you better take better cover. Now this also is really cool because you can use objects in the environment to create more effective cover, like this thing here. So we'll go ahead and run up. It's subtle, but it's dynamic and it keeps things fresh. And not everything is as it seems. The red bar shows your hit points. When hit, your luck is partially replenished. So that's the way that luck gets reversed. You have several abilities at your disposal. Some abilities require luck. So fanning, as an example. Chance to hit, 29%. Fires 3 shots with minus 20% to an aim penalty. More info here if you want to see. This is us, character aim, the penalty. 6-shooter distance, we get a bonus, and then he's got 1% defense and he's in cover, so 30. And that's why we end up with chance to hit of 29. That's it for the tutorial. You're on your own now. So, as I was mentioning, it's a pretty short tutorial, but it explains like the most basic of the mechanics. Now, remember, we're looking for our wife, and we're gonna run in here.
She was nowhere to be found. He saw the box. What was in it?
Yeah, brace yourselves.
The simple wooden box contained a head. Your mother's head. Afterwards, your father found one of the gunmen still alive. The dying man rambled on about some unholy obligation, about promises made by the devil himself, and the rewards they would find in hell.
There we go. So you can kind of see the stage has been set. If only your prospecting was lucky enough, you could get on the Oregon Trail again.
You and your father were alive, but all your supplies were destroyed. No way you'd make it to Oregon now. Your father decided to stay put and build a life right there. Many years passed, and you grew up. You became a man.
So the two of you took over the ruined railroad company buildings and tried your hands at farming. The soil was dry and the land was dangerous. You spent 10 long years scratching out an existence from the dirt. Now you were grown, you figured the two of you should try for Oregon again. It's what Mother would have wanted. Gold. Who would have thought they'd find it here? And just when you needed cash for your journey, time to strike it rich and get out of town before the outlaws and madmen showed up. They always do. The masked man controlled all of the gold mining. His henchman sold you a license that lets you run 9 prospecting operations. So we've got 9, like, I guess, license uses. and each of these different places, each time that we mine, will use up a license. So here's how it works. Ugly Ditch. Everyone said there was placer gold down in the ditch, but most of it buried deep under hard rock. Now, it costs us a bit of money to mine for gold, like at the top level. A little bit deeper costs more, and at the very bottom costs the most. And you kind of got to spend money to make money, in a sense. So we're going to just rinse the placer gold. It's $15, and we gained 31, so income total is $16. You collected placer gold deposits by rinsing gravel and sand in a flat metal pan. Now, we could take that money that we've earned, invest it, and try to mine for deeper gold. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to just scratch the surface of these other locations. Looked like the nearby farmhouse was inhabited. You paid them a visit, and they turned out to be kind people. You exchanged pleasantries and the customary promises to help one another. More importantly, you met Florence, their beautiful, kind-hearted daughter. All you exchanged were a few glances, but you found yourself smitten. Not interested in prospecting themselves, the neighbors tipped you off about a couple of promising spots. Very good. Okay.
From the day you first laid eyes on Florence, she was all you could think about. It wasn't just desire that she inspired in you. It was the way she saw the best in you, the way she made you feel.
Notice who's talking to us. This is Death speaking. Let's try the meadow. You noticed a young native woman with a basket picking flowers and carefully selecting herbs. Initially startled by your arrival, she then offered you healing herbs for sale. Let's maybe come back to her. It's a little bit pricey right now. Let's just keep mining for gold. We have 8 licenses still. Thoroughly explored to the rock-hard depth, but not much apart from that. So let's go ahead and grab the top level. Netted an extra 16. Let's go to the damp mine, perhaps. The hard rock depths were still untouched, so that's good. It's going to cost us a bit to get down there. Let's go 15 again. So that time we only netted $1, which obviously doesn't help a lot. A rich mine collapsed years ago on top of a bunch of miners burying them alive. Their wives and children still decorate the entrance with flowers. Looks like you could squeeze in, maybe get some of the gold they found. Might not be the smartest thing to do, but I'm going in. As you reached the first opening, you found a skeleton with his legs crushed under a boulder. You wondered if he bled out before he died of thirst. His shirt, though stained, was still intact and of very good quality. So we got a blood-stained shirt. You decide to go even deeper. The next cavern was cramped and full of stale air. You found a little gold, but not much, so 43. I'm still going. Wounded and weary, you eventually reach the end of the furthest tunnel, and there inside a massive stash of gold. The air must have poisoned you because as you went to pick it up, you hallucinated a tall man in a suit, smiling and smoking. As you turned to leave, he said, "Just so we're clear, that's mine, but you can borrow it a while." It was all too much. We headed back to the surface. As you inched your way back to the sunlight, you heard a low rumbling all around you. You hurried, hands trembling, heavy drops of sweat rolling down your face. You had just emerged, blinking in the sunlight, when the mine collapsed behind you. Very close. Okay. Now, we do have like a full inventory class management screen as well. We'll get into this in a bit, but I just want to show the shirt here. It's almost new, just stained with blood a little here and there. Protects from crippling injuries. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that on us, or on Father, I should say. We actually are Warren, to be fair. Sturdy shoes will give +4 to movement, as we can see over here. So we'll throw these on. And we have a relic. So priceless relics have a soothing effect on all witnessing their mindless destruction. Grants healing over time to allies in the radius. Okay, that's cool. Let's put this on. He's got severe hand damage, reduces his gun skills. No debuffs on Father right now. And we also have a card screen. This is pretty cool. So the way these work is these are aces this row, kings, queens, jacks, tens, and I think 9. Actually, I don't know if I recall ever seeing these ones, but they're probably 9s. And then jokers over here. And what's kind of cool is they all have different bonuses. So ace of clubs, as you can see. Your shots don't replenish enemy luck, plus nearby enemies lose luck all the time. So that's pretty good. And you can stack them over here with any of the characters that we get. I have a 10 of spades, which is ricochet, bounce bullets off of one or more ricocheted objects, and you get a bonus of 5 aim. So it does require 20 luck to use, but it makes sense to use it. Now, another cool thing is if you make any like combinations of poker hands, like pairs, 3 of a kind, stuff like that, you get additional bonuses based on the type of hand that you make. So it gets pretty complex and it's pretty fun to work with. So anyways, let's keep prospecting here. We've got 6 more licenses. Led by Alexander Kane, has been collecting gold using rinsing pans. Kane has vast knowledge of placer gold retrieving techniques. I'm gonna go straight for mastering techniques of placer gold rinsing. That's gonna give us a 75% increase right there. So anything that we do at the top level is gonna help immensely. Okay, so let's go to the second level now. Deeper gold, we netted $2. Yikes. And we could probably grab... Let's try unconventional extraction methods. They were effective but expensive. You first needed to obtain or rent the proper tools. Okay, so... Didn't work out, that's okay. And at this very beginning part, normally you would just like kind of fly through here, but I'm taking my time so that you guys can kind of see everything. So we gained 106 from that one. That's great. News about the gold spread. Overnight, several nearby homesteads and settlements were raided. Father worried you wouldn't make it on your own. He figured you need protection. You disagreed, but went along with his decision for the last time. It says an attack is imminent. Mexican town trade outpost. Okay, let's go for a little deeper gold here. Netted 42. And let's go ahead and grab the hard rock gold. Netted $6. Okay, not bad. We have 2 more licenses. I think we have 2 more levels here. I wish I would have had this bonus at the very beginning. Netted $2. Come on, hopefully things work out at the bottom. It says it was mostly buried under the deep hard rock. So in those scenarios, like we could fully just skip the medium and the shallow levels, but I think it's good to just get everything that we can. Okay, so now we need to ask this crime lord for protection. Let's go ahead and try this. Mexican said he'd help you if you split your gold money with him. He left you a bunch of guns, some empty blessings, and a promise to send a vaquero to help out. Character has joined the posse. Cheech. Repeater rifle unlocked. And items received, Navy gun, repeater rifle. Okay. So Cheech. He's got a Western rifle and a sawed-off Cobra. Interesting. I think if we each have like a shotgun, that'd be great. Repeater rifle's not quite shotgun material, but at least this way we can each carry some. Looks like a shotgun. So we have some higher damage if we want to work up close. Actually, this Navy gun is even better damage-wise. It's 5 versus 4. They also each have different measures for damage versus half cover and damage versus full cover. So that's something to keep in mind as well. Let's check the difference here. They're all the same, except for the Cobra versus full cover will still do 2 damage. Yeah, so that's good. Good to know. Okay, so we're out of licenses, and I think we're gonna head back and defend the homestead. So here we go. The bandits were coming. It was the hour of reckoning. Let's take up defensive positions. So I've already gone ahead and prepared. That's what I was doing with just managing our inventory and opening our card screen here and equipping what we can. So we're going in with Cheech, Warren, and Father. Here we go. You're well armed and prepared to defend your home from the bad men. If Cheech dies, it'll cost you $200. Okay, great. Now, do we see them anywhere? I don't. Okay, so we've got Warren over here. This is not a bad spot. I'm thinking up would be better. I think it's prompting us that they're coming from the north side there. Or I guess depending on how you look at it. I think I'm gonna grab the full cover here, maybe? Or you could try to get into a different position. I could even move up if I wanted to and take full cover here. I'm gonna do that. Okay, let's hold tight there, and we'll just end our turn. Hello. Okay, so there's two. Okay, he is running out of luck pretty quickly. Jesus. I'm a bit worried that we've put him up there as our front man, but it sounds like we've got at least a couple more over here. Okay, so how are we going to do this? Who's the one with 8? He's the one way in the back there. Okay, so Cheech. I'm thinking let's switch you over here. Let's switch the weapon. Yeah, okay, so this weapon does more damage, but I think I'd rather just try and get kills. I think I'm just gonna pull back and then shoot because oh, I went too far. That's a great start. We switch our weapon here. Okay, it's still 4, but it's 100%. So let's take that. And then we could probably take these guys. %. Yeah, let's take it. So I ran a little too far with Cheech and wasn't able to shoot, unfortunately. Hello. There we are. Oh god. Okay. This is bad. We're getting swarmed pretty heavily here. Let's switch to the shotgun. And, oh, you know what? Let's see if we can do this cone shot here. Oh, can't believe we missed the one in the front. Okay, I think I'm actually gonna move him a bit. This guy's in the open. We should be able to take him. Kill all enemies. 3 remaining. I think I'm just gonna pull back a bit here. Because I don't want it to get flanked, and that's very possible from this angle. Yeah, that's exactly what would have happened right there. Now, I can't see him. There we go. Now let's pull over here. I don't know. I don't really like those odds. Let's move Cheech in. Damn it. Try and take some better cover here. Let's try and do a bit of healing with this relic. I mean, that guy's hitting pretty consistently. Is there a way I can flank him? Not totally. And I'm hoping that that heals us. I know it says allies, but... anything I can ricochet off of? That's another cool thing that we can do sometimes. It's got to be the right type of surface, so it's not common, but... go for it. That'll do. I'm gonna move up a little bit. Now let's just go in here. Okay, now should actually get a great shot on him. And this guy's been healing the whole time, so that's not cool. I'm pretty sure that we hit him and he's healed up. And now he's, okay, so this little thing that shows, he's got this little radius around him. If we enter that, that's kind of like an Overwatch, and he'll shoot us, and most likely he'll hit us. Come on now. Should be flanked. 4 damage, 59, let's go! There it is. Okay. 59, let's finish this. Not quite. There it is. We've done it. So that relic, it probably is only on enemies, or only on allies in the strictest sense of the word, that it doesn't even heal us. Because I don't think we got any healing from that. So, something to keep in mind. Though you survived the attack, Father was worried. He said you should build an underground escape tunnel in case of another attack, but he also wanted you to call the shots. So we got some cards. Cheech left the posse. Okay, so he was temporary. Look, Father's right, I'm sure, so let's build this thing. Father said he'd take care of the materials and construction. Meanwhile, the bandits were attacking elsewhere. You ran to make sure Florence was safe. Okay, so with that, we're gonna take a break, and when we come back, you'll probably notice it'll be a bit more combat and less just like digging for gold and stuff. So that'll be fun. But It's cool. It's really fun, actually, and everything plays super smooth. I just think it's unique. It's got heavy influences from the obvious sources, but it's also unique in its own right. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. Anyways, we'll see you guys next time. Take care. Bye.